While the principles of fast swimming are the same regardless of the stroke, when swimmers are on their back, how those principles are demonstrated changes. The shoulder is not a symmetrical joint, so swimmers are going to have to execute different skills to effectively finish the stroke, create a lot of propulsion, and transition into the next stroke cycle. Faster backstrokers do it better. Hi everyone, Andrew here, helping you help your swimmers get faster. The finish of the stroke is all about trade-offs. Swimmers are trying to create as much propulsion as possible for as long as possible, but they also have to smoothly and effortlessly transition into the recovery of the stroke. An ineffective finish of the stroke is going to compromise the amount of propulsion swimmers can create, it's going to negatively impact the recovery of the arm, or it's going to do both. In freestyle, swimmers exit the water without completely straightening their arm. That allows them to create a lot of propulsion, but it also allows them to smoothly transition into the recovery. In contrast, backstrokers actually completely straighten their arm. They do so during the finish of the stroke, and they maintain a completely straight arm during the recovery over the surface. This happens due to the range of motion available to the shoulder and the timing of the stroke. While completely straightening the arm in freestyle makes it more difficult to recover the arm over the water, straightening the arm in backstroke actually makes it easier. Finishing down and straightening the arm helps to push the shoulder and the elbow towards the surface of the water, which creates the momentum necessary to get the whole arm recovered out of the water. When on their stomachs, swimmers can lead with the back of the elbow to maintain the arm speed out of the water. However, that option isn't available when swimmers are on their back. So instead, they need to find another solution that helps create a little bit of momentum to get the arm out of the water. The solution they find is to finish straight and to finish down. Let's take a look at how elite swimmers make it happen. So the first thing we'll pay attention to is the straightening of the arm at the finish. So if we watch down here, there's the arm and it's going to be completely straight. When you watch freestylers, you'll see that the arm remains bent as it exits, but that's not what's happening in backstroke. And so we'll see, again, complete straightening of the arm, the hand is going to finish down, but what you'll see is that starts to push the shoulder up towards the surface. That also starts to get the elbow moving up to the surface. And so now we've got the arm moving in the right direction in terms of recovering over the water. And so again, by pushing down, that gets the shoulder up, that gets the elbow up to the surface. And now the arm has a little bit of momentum, and you can see that the shoulder continues to go up, and that allows swimmers to quickly and effortlessly swing the arm over the water. If backstrokers were to try to finish straight back from this point, then the arm would end up straight, just like it does here, but we wouldn't see the shoulders moving up, we wouldn't see the elbows moving up to the surface, and that's the key part that allows swimmers to generate the momentum they need to swing the arm over the surface. Now, if we watch the other arm, we'll see the same thing. The elbow gets completely straight, the whole arm is completely straight, the hand is going to move down. And then as you can see, as the press down, the elbow, the shoulder start to pop up, and that's how swimmers can start to generate some momentum. Again, there's no way to maintain the arm bent and then transfer it up over the surface. And just as importantly, they can't finish back because that's gonna have the arm come to a complete stop. And in both cases, swimmers are gonna have to muscle the arm out of the water, which is not gonna work. So instead, they're gonna press down a little bit. That naturally straightens the arm, and it gets the elbow up to the surface. You can see it pops up there. Now it has some momentum and then allows swimmers to swing it up and over the surface. You can see as the arm straightens here, shoulder is going to rotate up as well. And at the same time, the left hand is going to enter the water. That's going to drive the left shoulder down, which also drives the right shoulder up. So hand is finishing down, pushing the right shoulder up, and then the left hand is finishing in, driving the left side down and the right side up. And that's going to provide that right arm with some momentum so that swimmers can swing it up over the surface. Other added benefit is as the swimmer finishes the stroke here, the hand is still moving backwards. They've still got some hold on the water, so that allows them to create a little bit more propulsion, because as the hand is entering on the left side here, there's obviously no propulsion on that side, and by finishing there, we can get a little bit more propulsion, and then the swimmer can get on it on the left side with less of a gap between the two arms. So swimmers are going to finish down, they're going to finish straight, and that's going to allow them to create a little bit more propulsion, and probably more importantly, that's going to give them some momentum so that shoulder pops right up to the surface, the elbow starts to come up to the surface, and then swimmers can effortlessly swing the arm over the water. So we'll see the same thing here from a different angle. So the swimmer's gonna pull here, they're gonna finish, and they're gonna finish down, and you can see the elbow pops up, the shoulder pops up, as a result of that finish. And as we talked about in the previous swimmer, as the left hand finishes, the right hand enters. That's going to create more rotation. And so the timing of the two is really, really important, because as the one hand's pushing down, the other arm is driving into the water, and that's going to get the pulling side shoulder up to the surface. You can see that the elbow pops up right to the surface at the finish of the pull there, and now they're in a position to swing the arm effortlessly over the water. Same thing on the other side. You can see the finish down. You can see the press there, and then the pop of the shoulder and the elbow, and that's going to allow a really smooth transition over the surface. And especially with backstroke, they're going to recover the arms straight. They're already in the position that they need to be when recovered over the water, and that's going to allow them to more effortlessly and more easily transition into the recovery. So again, finishing down here, popping the shoulder up, popping the elbow up, and then on the other side, doing the same thing, pressing down. And you can see that snap there. That's going to facilitate the transition to the other side. It's going to facilitate the arm up to the surface. And again, that makes it much easier to recover effectively. Another swimmer here, and we're going to see the same thing. So boom, finish down. And as the finish is down, you can see the rotation up. The shoulder comes up to the surface. The elbow comes up to the surface. And then we're also seeing the entry on the other side there. And that's also going to facilitate the rotation. Holding water all the way through, that allows swimmers to create a little bit more propulsion, but most important is that movement there, the pressing down really makes a big difference in terms of getting that shoulder up, getting the elbow straight, getting the elbow up to the surface. It quickly goes from down to right up to the surface, and that motion is going to give the arm some momentum, allow it to bounce out of the finish and then right into the recovery, which is going to make it a lot easier to execute. And so again, if swimmers were to pull out at this point, they're really going to struggle to have any sort of momentum with the arm. If they were to try to pull straight back and then finish straight back, they're not going to get that torquing movement that's going to get everything rotated up. So again, finishing down slightly is going to be really important, and it's going to be important to help swimmers recover the arms effectively and to create more propulsion. The arms are going to completely straighten in contrast to freestyle, backstroke, and breaststroke. And the key difference is that because swimmers are on their back, they're still going to have to execute effective skills, but they're going to have to do so in a different way because of the anatomy of the upper body. So the more effectively swimmers can straighten their arm during the finish, and the more they can have a downward trajectory to the finish, the faster they're going to swim. If you want to learn more about how to improve arm recoveries in backstroke, check out the video below.